All right, and we're on.
Gotta put on my D&D glasses.
Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. Um, if you are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you are aware of all of the things that's going on here, and you can join in our live chat. If you would like to, check out our website at danddadjokes.com, where you can find their links to other social media accounts. So check those out because we are posting. Trying to remind you to come and join us. If you are watching, please leave a note in the comment or whatever. Let us know that you've watched. That way we are keeping track of that stuff. Tonight we are on episode 46 called Collections. So, last week, quick recap. Last week, when you guys woke up just after breakfast, Lillian Trenson arrived and the group headed to the council meeting. At council, though Isabella did not appear to be speaking did appear to be speaking telepathically to other individuals, it is Ginlin who did her public speaking. After general business, Yuriro, one of the three suspicious people from the night before, addressed his concerns regarding possible repercussions from Malar. He is offered to take the lead in research and implementing plans to deal with any possible issues as they manifest, and he accepts this offer, and the council concludes their business. Afterwards, Fix introduces Lillian to Zybella, and after a brief conversation, she motioned for Jurek to show Lillian her quarters. Fix then turns his attention back to Zybella and asks her to an early dinner in the trees, to which she accepts. Zybella then turns her attention to Erwin. As they leave, they begin to discuss other business. Evangeline makes her way to Joyvey and arranges to purchase a set of sending stones and to contact Gavian on his whereabouts. He shares that he is bouncing between Thrice and Rarmon at the moment, gathering information regarding Gidna's disappearance. The party wastes some time at the Owl's Nest as they rest, and then Fix goes on his date a little bit later. But they rest at the Owl's Nest, and an elven woman enters who seems to recognize them. Upon questioning her, they discover that she is Leogwyn Elderrose, a member of the Order of the Third Eye, who serves Savras from Umdera. After relocating to the library, where there was less chance of being overheard, she shares with the group what was in her visions. She had seen the group retrieve an item and returned it to the rightful owner. After being showed the cards, both finished and unfinished, both finished and unfinished, she points to the item on the Fates card, the crystal ball of many eyes. This item was last known to be with Dolan Bada at Awesome's Traveling Menagerie and Circus in Malave, and its rightful owner is actually a Lazarus who lives in Umdera. Fix then goes on his date with Zybella, after which the group teleports to Thrice, where they check in with Kosha at the Order of Balance. Evangeline disappears again and searches out any signs of the Jagged Dream, moving about the town, eventually finding a familiar dagger pendant hanging from among other necklaces. She convinces the vendor to take a note to Gavian, but then follows him through a back alley and ducking into a cantina and sneaking through to the back, she finds a private room with Gavian. As she has a discussion with Gavian, she discovers that he is tracking rumors of Gera's movement and his belief of Gidna meeting up with her in Farbron. However, Gidna's movements are much harder to track. Forsyth and Kosha, at Kadeth's suggestion, decided to head to the underground to gather more information regarding the items that have passed through. And that is where we left off last week. Oh no, where'd you go? I lost you guys. There you are. All right, so that is where we left off last week. So this week, we are going to pick up with Forsyth and Kosha.
Cool.
So Kosha leads you down through the underground, familiar passage. You know where you're going. It's not that she has to lead you, it's just that she is. You head down through there. You meet up with I feel like I gave you his name, and I forget what his name was. You meet up with one of the heads down there that's kind of controls the station, so to speak. Kind of knows who's coming, who's going, what's going on down through there for the most part. I forgot to. Did I give you his name?
No.
I did not give you his name. All right. His name is Wari Sesk.
Bless you.
Thank you. Wari
Sounds like a
Sesk.
disease or something.
That's a disease.
Okay, someone stopped. Was it me or you? Oh, there. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was writing down the name in my notebook so I wouldn't forget.
Forget what?
Exactly.
Katie.
I thought Rhonda was the one supposed to write everything down.
I'm sure she did, but I might need it for reference. I don't know. We'll see.
I will do that Thursday.
All right. You meet up with Wari. Uh, Kosha comes in and gives him a nod and starts the conversation saying, Wari, we need some information on a couple of items that have come through. We need to know whose hands they passed through. Wari raises an eyebrow. Like, I don't give out that information.
But
Kosha's
you
not.
can.
I know. Of course I know.
The question is, at what cost?
Now we're talking.
Right.
How many
Now
items?
we have two ways to play the cost game. One is gold pieces or items of worth. The other is leaving you alive. Either way
Oh,
works.
I think leaving me alive is a given. Um, yeah, that ain't gonna happen down here.
Ah, okay.
However,
However,
I will be willing to part with this information for some gold or some valuables. Um, Everything has a price.
that is true. See, I don't have that spell, do I?
I don't
I was
know. Do
looking to
you?
see if I had. Jim has a coin spell, and
I splashed myself.
it's it's a really nasty one. Uh, I'm going to see. Yeah, no, it's got verbal to it. Forget that. How much coin are we talking?
Well, how much information do you need?
I'd say all that you have, at least relative to what we're looking for. I don't need to know about
Okay.
your family.
Well, I don't think I would share that.
What I will do is I will pull out of my bag of tricks uh, let's see, I have a gold chalice. and a silver bracelet. And then we'll pull those out.
What items are you looking for?
I have a silver chain bracelet and a gold chalice bag too. Why does it say that?
Now, how you organize your inventory is totally on you.
I know. Well, these are as I've been given them over time. Some of this is older.
Yeah.
I have 50. I have an emerald that's worth 50, and I'll pull that out too.
All right. He seems very interested. What items are you looking for?
You mean what information?
Well, yes. Usually they're associated with an item,
And I will indicate
possibly a
Kosha
person.
and have her ask the questions.
Oh, I see how it goes. Is this because Forsyth can't remember?
That's probably true.
Kosha offers up the item that she does know. Well, she says, I'm looking for a pendant. I know it came through. It was jeweled, probably made of a heavier metal like a pewter or a nickel or something of that nature. And jeweled. I know it's come through. I need to know who's had it. And Wari kind of gets a little bit of a quizzical look. It passed hands here in Thrice twice. Not very common to pass hands twice in a city. Most likely, that is what caught my attention with this particular item. It also wasn't sold. It was given. It seemed it was passing through without any price information per se. The three people that had it, Florian came in with it, passed it to Cecil pretty quickly. Cecil carried it most of the time while it was here in Thrice. We had one come from Rarmon, common runner between Thrice and Rarmon. Her name is Skyla. She picked it up from Cecil and took it on. I have not seen Florian for quite some time. I have a feeling he dropped it off and left. Cecil's still in town. I don't think Skyla is. If Skyla's come back into town, she's got other business.
You know where we might find her should she not be in town?
Most likely Rarmon.
Okay.
She works mostly out of Rarmon. She's kind of our go-between when we want to move things.
So the best person to talk to right now is Cecil, and then search for her if need be.
If you're looking for that item, that would be my chosen path.
We are definitely looking for that item, but not only for the item, but who actually has it at this time.
Well, now that I do believe that when items come through, yes, I do believe items such of that nature, unique, extremely unique items, tend to make their way to Weirfall.
Right.
To a lady of noble stature. who likes to collect unique items.
Also known as she who must not be named.
Yeah, he ain't stupid. um, other items, Kosha says, well, other items are not quite as unique, but probably odd that they fall under the underground, and that would be like there was a sack, almost like a probably about the size of a haversack, but not a magical property, just normal leather pouch that could be used, that came through, and a boomerang, again, not of magical properties. So I'm not really sure if you would know anything about those.
Had a boomerang. It didn't work. We called it a stick.
It never came back. Mm.
The cat came back.
Worry says, yeah, I don't. Those I probably, yeah, none of those come to mind. I'll be honest. Um, they sound pretty mundane unless there's something unique about them. I do know of a boomerang that came through here. I
And
thought
where
maybe,
might it have gone?
I believe it actually made its way to Orlin. Yeah, I think the thief who took it, he took it through to Orlin. He only passed through here very briefly to, you know, lie low for a day or so, and then moved on.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know anything else regarding that. It was not a unique enough item that I was watching. It was not really sure why he took it, to be honest. I don't know anything about a pouch. Pouches come through here all the time. Uh, I would never peg a pouch unless, of course, it has some kind of magical property.
All right.
You might be able to find Cecil down in the cavern. The cavern is a place that the thieves of the city will sometimes go. It's like the underground tavern, a place where they don't really have to pretend to be somebody else per se. So it says you might find Cecil in the cavern. Depends on if he's doing business or not.
Okay. Player knowledge. Do I know where this cavern might be?
Uh, yes, you do know where it's at. Although there's at many times when you would show up that they would not let you in. Um, Mostly because you were in your halfling kid form.
Right. But we can always go in an adult looking form. Okay.
But yes, you do know where it's at.
Okay.
He
I
will.
think we've got all the information we need from here. Would you agree, Kosha?
Oh, I believe so.
Okay. Well, let's head to the a suspected location.
All right, let's go. Thank you, Wari, as ever. And she'll toss him like 10 gold on top of what you've just paid him, and walk out. And I'm assuming you follow her.
Yeah.
All right. She'll lead you to the caverns. It'll take just about 10 minutes or so to get there. So in the meantime, Evangeline, you are still having
Yeah.
conversation with Gavian.
Yes.
All right. Gavian shared with you what information he does have, accepted the sending stone. You gave him the sending stone. Says, plops it in a inside like vest pocket so that it's close enough for him to know when it's being activated.
Okay.
So how long?
I was going to ask him something, and I can't remember what I was going to ask him. So
All right.
I will
Well,
engage him in some chit chat.
okay. Mighty fine weather we're having here.
Not that trivial.
Do you need a minute?
No,
Okay.
I'm going to ask him. So your mother seems to keep pretty good tabs on her children.
For the most part.
How do you manage to move around so freely?
Well, sometimes she sends me out on errands and I just extend the time that I'm gone. I have to be careful though. Sometimes I have to do it in a prompt time, otherwise she stops sending me. But most of the time, I've been able to avoid it by taking care of other things in the same area that I'm supposed to be in. She doesn't really have an exact pinpoint a lot of times, unless she chooses to scry. And that's where this comes in. And he taps his jagged dream pendant that Fix made.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I had it enchanted.
To keep her from scrying on you?
Yeah. Keep anybody from scrying on me, to be honest. I don't want people to know where I'm at. Kind of hard to be a thief if people know where you're at.
Is that what you used your shiny money for?
Yeah. Sure did.
That's acceptable. Personally, why do you think your mother doesn't want anybody looking for Gidna?
To be fair, that's an odd one. I'm not sure about that one. Usually when Mama tells us to stay out of business, it's because she's deep in it. She doesn't want us to get caught in the crossfire. So if she's deep in it and Gidna got caught in the crossfire, she's probably feeling it right now.
Do you believe that she, who we do not name, knows who your mother exactly is?
As adamantly as she has told us not to search for her, and knowing that not to search for Gidna, and knowing that I have placed Gidna and her together, chances are she knows.
I was afraid of that.
How she knows, I don't know. But she knows. I think she knows.
Do you know anything about the crew that runs with her?
Only that they have run with her for as long as I know of. Um, the mage has some unusual abilities. Pretty strong in regards to foresight, scrying, um, the psyche.
Do
Um,
you, do you believe that he could have or maybe a member of the Order of the Third Eye?
I mean, it's entirely possible, or at least he may have been at some point. I don't know if he still is or not. I don't. He stays pretty close to she who should not be named.
You know, even though he may not be looking for Gidna, you know your brother's after Gara.
She
Yeah,
who must
I
not be
figured as
named.
much. She who must not be named. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Yeah, no, and I would not be surprised if this isn't some kind of ploy, trap,
to
revenge.
get to get that to happen.
Yeah. Um, word on the street is she was double crossed. He kind of smiles.
There was no double crossing. There was she got what she wanted. I never said I wouldn't take it back.
I plead the fifth on my involvement in that.
Somehow I figured you might have been involved. Not that, Kofik's not, capable, but it usually takes two to do something like that.
I will tell you the item that she received was the item that she desired.
Interesting. I am intrigued. Nobody's ever
Mm,
stolen from her and gotten away with it.
I've learned a lot.
Interesting. That would explain some revenge. Might even explain Gidna, actually. I am beginning to think Gidna's, well, I wasn't sure at first if she was a willing participant or if she's there because perhaps Mother told her to be there, or I really don't think she's willing, which is why I think Mother is so silent about it. Um, I think she who must not be named might be using our sister for a twofold purpose.
Highly likely. How in the world did she get herself in the middle of this?
I have no idea. I do not know. Something
going
pulled
to.
from Nyliesh. She's supposed to be in Nyliesh.
Is she who should not be named partner there, the mage, strong enough to pull somebody, in your opinion, against
Dep-
their will from where they are?
he is capable. I mean, he's powerful enough. Knowledge-wise, I don't know. But there are multiple ways to pull somebody. You can persuade them through communication, through means. Perhaps he presented himself as mother, commanding her to go someplace else. Perhaps they posed as Kofik in trouble. She'd drop everything for him.
That's my fear. I fear that she would leave what she's supposed to be doing to rescue him. I believe it's entirely possible that she may have stuff or access to be able to convince Gidna that he was there and in trouble.
Entirely possible. It also doesn't make sense that she was separated from her pendant, which also makes me think she is not a willing participant.
I agree with that statement. How well do you know the lady's involvement with the Order of Truth?
I have no idea. I don't. All of the things that I've seen her do, she just attends banquets. She does a lot of persuasion. Worming her way into things. Um, a lot of these banquets are also have members of the Order of Truth, but I mean, is it happenstance? I mean, the Order of Truth gets invited to a lot of things. They have a lot of power.
Keep your ears open for me.
I will do that.
I kind of took everything that I own out of my quarters at the Order and left and didn't say anything to anybody.
Well, plausible deniability if something should catch up to you. I mean, that's fair, but that was kind of a bold move.
One I felt was necessary.
Interesting. Have we lost faith in the Order of Truth?
You might say that. You might also need to know that everything that I own is at the Chinston estate.
Well, Mother would not turn you aside. Of that I am sure.
I did ask her permission first.
My point proven.
I do not know where this journey takes us, but it is not going to be an easy one.
It will not.
It is not going to be as easy as I think your brother thinks it will be.
Well,
But I have his back.
good. As I'm assuming the rest of the group you travel with would as well.
Absolutely.
The though I cannot say that she who must not be named is affiliated with any order, as in, any of the powers that be. She's not even a ruling noble of Weirfall, though that's where she does a lot of her business. She definitely has her hands in the cookie jar, that's for sure. And of a lot of important people, some of which have turned up missing, others of which seem to be lavishly gifted, shall I say. Just be careful.
She definitely is a force to be reckoned with. And I believe she's got her hands in a lot of things where she is very quiet about having them.
Oh, that she is. What she does behind the curtain, so to speak. And those that can actually attach her name to something generally can't find the proof of it.
Well, that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
Outside the two-timing. Hopefully things will go in our favor.
I do hope so. I mean, I am concerned for Kofik's safety. I'm also concerned for Gidna's at this point.
I'm going to reach into my pocket and I'm going to pull out the despoiler.
Okay. Oh, I think you showed it to him once before.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to lay it on the table. And I'm going to point out the buttons. I have no desire to use this to its fullest intent, but I would to save a friend.
Well, you'll have to come to that decision on your own, but might be worth it.
What would I do with all these people? Or what would I do with people or her son who's totally devoted to me? In a not totally devoted manner that I desire.
I don't know, make them all be farmers. Feed some poor homeless town.
I know such a town. A little chilly down there.
That's right. They can wear coats.
I will be in touch.
All right. You keep me in touch, Shiny.
I will do that. I'll give them a wink. I'm sure I'm probably being missed about right now.
Quite possibly.
Keep me informed.
I will do my best.
I'll point to his map if you figure out where they are.
I will let you know immediately if I get word of where they're at.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
And I will cast invisibility on myself and head out.
All right. He will actually walk toward the opening of the tavern so that doors aren't opening and closing by themselves, expecting that you will follow
I will follow.
so that you can get out unnoticed. We're going to pan over to Kadeth and Fix. You are still in the order of balance.
Yep.
You are muted or something, dear.
There we go.
There you
I
go.
was planning on going and finding not Erwin, Elijah.
Okay. He can be found because
And then, like whichever one I find first between Elijah and Tatra.
you will probably find. Well, it depends on where you go. You will find both of them where you kind of expect. Elijah is in the library. He seems to be doing a little bit of research.
I'll go there
Tatra's in
first.
like the conference room.
I'll go to the easier conversation first and go to Elijah.
All right.
The more comprehensible conversation.
You're going to do the more comprehensible conversation first.
Yes.
All right. Okay. You'll find Elijah. He's sitting there. He's reading a book. The book that you kind of pick up pretty quickly that the book that he is reading is in regards to blood magic, blood rituals, things of that nature.
Okay.
You're going to pick up pretty quickly. Fix, you probably would pick up on it too, honestly.
Oh, Master Elijah, doing a little light reading.
I don't know how light it is, but yes. What can I do for you, Kadeth?
Well, obviously I've been made aware of certain items that have gone missing, with the likelihood of it being a certain person that took them or had them taken in the end.
Yes. That's kind of what Kosha and I have been following a little bit.
And I know I got some update from Kosha, but I was wondering if you had anything additional or anything to add. And I'll also go through, like, here's the stuff we know and the stuff we figured out, and like go through just a very brief history of like our recent wanderings and what the stuff our group has done recently.
All right. He will take a moment and kind of think through it a little bit. It's like, I think you're pretty much right where we are right now. It seems like that if all of these items did indeed find their way to this lady, it seems she has a bit of a vendetta, per se, against your group.
You could say that.
Um,
We didn't exactly treat her like a friend
well, I mean,
for good reason.
she's rather
Right.
elusive and. Oh, go ahead.
Why would we treat her like a friend?
Oh, I'm not saying we would in her case.
She was. Yeah, no, we didn't treat her like a friend for good reason.
Especially after, stealing blood and attempting to obtain an item that would make that even more dangerous, just having the blood.
I say
Yeah.
we should have just done away with her before, but we didn't. Yeah, but we didn't.
I'm not sure we could have yet.
At the time of you guys finding Kosha, she's informed me a little bit of everything that went on. At that time, she really didn't have any real reason to be done away with, per se. Um, which brings me to this, and he kind of taps the book, trying to figure out what she wanted it for.
Um, I mean, I have my own theories, but I think in the end it comes down to power.
That would make sense.
I mean, she probably sees our order as, if not a threat, at least a concern.
Yes. Well, I can understand that. Um, do you know
The Muffin Man.
the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane?
Muffin Man.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
Muffin Man that lives on Drury Lane. I know the Muffin
Yes,
Man.
I know the Muffin Man.
Oh no.
But I'm Chuck.
It's herding cats, guys. Herding cats.
Herding cats.
Ooh.
Um, do you happen to know if she is a part of any order or serves any god?
Not that I'm aware of. Doesn't mean she doesn't, but she isn't even cooperating that I know of with the Order of Chaos.
Yeah.
So my only guess is either she's operating on her own, or if she is operating either under orders or through some belief, then it's more dangerous than even they can be.
Hmm.
Although I've come to admit that even they have a place in this world.
Well, as much as we like balance, there is still chaos. And it, oddly enough, gives us our job.
Well, and sometimes chaos leads to balance.
This is true too. Well, if I get any more information in regards to this, I will be sure to let Erwin know. You and him have a way to communicate.
We
Sending
do.
stones, right?
We do.
Yeah. So I will be sure to let Erwin know. Although, I don't know when he'll be back.
I don't think he'll be too much longer, maybe a couple days.
All
But
right.
we are going to see about sending a few of our priests and maybe some from other temples in the city to aid the people because, well, we did just essentially rid their god of their worship at this point.
Yes. That can have repercussions in and of itself, but if you start gathering priests from other temples and whatnot there, that should keep things at bay.
I believe so.
Well, may they find balance.
I think they will one day.
That will be good.
I think they're already on their way to that point. At least their leadership is.
That is good. Well,
I'll, I'll leave you to your studying then.
yep. Yeah. And when Kosha returns, I'm sure she will find you.
Yeah, her and Forsyth are tracking down some possible leads, I think.
Good. That will be good.
And she has certain resources that no one else here does, really. So, very well.
That's why we took her in.
And I'll give him a little bow and leave and go find Tatra.
All right. You go off to find Tatra. In the meantime, Forsyth and Kosha, you walk into the caverns, and Kosha stops you pretty quickly and points over to a corner. She's like, that's Cecil. You see in the corner, kind of a rather tall human, dark hair, darkened skin, dark eyes. He could very easily, with a dark clothes, like he is definitely the epitome of like thief, somebody you don't want to see in a dark alley because you know you're going to get in trouble. He's sitting in the corner just drinking an ale.
But we're used to dark alleys.
Hmm Pretty much everybody here is.
Well, Coach and I would especially be used to it,
Yep.
having grown up in them.
Oh yeah. But she says, yeah, that's Cecil.
Okay, no beanie, just Cecil.
Just Cecil.
Some of them not going to get that joke.
All right.
grew up,
Kosha says,
grew up
I'll.
on a couple puppet characters, Beanie and Cecil.
Oh yeah, puppets. Don't see very many puppets these days,
Nah, you sure don't.
except on the end of
Cecil
a
and Sea
ventriloquist.
Monster.
All right. So
Anyway.
Kosha looks at you and says, I will follow your lead.
If you go see Jeff Dunham,
Yeah,
Well,
true.
like I said,
Yeah.
on the arm of a ventriloquist. That's where you see puppets these days.
Or anyway, we shall do our best to see what we can accomplish here.
All right. Kosha's following you.
Okay. I will just boldly walk up to Cecil.
All right. As you
No
walk
fear.
up, he'll take a drink, set it down. He lets go of the cup, and one hand kind of disappears underneath the table. He says,
I would
can
pull
I
that
help you?
knife if I were you. Unless you really want to end your life here. We just want some information for now.
Information
Hey.
I may give.
Uh,
What's the question?
information that we have actually paid for already once. And if you want to get a part of that claim, you can go talk to the guy who sent us to you. We're looking for an item that he says you had.
Who sent you?
Don't remember his name.
Kosha says, Wari sent us.
Yeah, Wari. Yeah.
It's like, you kind of see that look of like, shit.
Now,
Damned if I do
you
and
can
damned
help
if I
us.
don't.
You can help us free and willingly, and then talk to Wari about payment. Or you can meet a friend of mine
All
that you
right.
will not like,
Mm,
and I will indicate to Kosha to take a flanking position.
Kosher will move to do so. And he pulls his hand away from the dagger. He's like, I don't want no trouble. And believe
That's
me, I will
fine.
be talking to Worry.
So tell us about this item we're looking for.
I have a feeling it has to do with that very unique dagger pendant that came through here.
That would be the item.
That one has been nothing but trouble.
Well, let's see that it doesn't become more trouble for you. It's problem that we will resolve, and in our own way.
Yeah.
But the fact is we will need your aid, and you can talk to Wari about payment.
I will be talking to Worry. Maybe not about payment. I might need protection at this point.
Well, the question is whether you need protection from a certain elderly lady who is problematic, or whether you'll be needing protection from me.
Is she elderly?
She's not quite elderly. She's quite capable.
Maybe we can take
To
her.
Forsyth,
We're gonna go kill old
you're
people.
all elderly.
Yeah, that's true. To Forsyth, everybody's old.
I mean,
Even Kosha's a year
Okay.
older. So.
I didn't think about it that way.
He will say, look, it was brought to me by Florian.
Right.
Very specifically given to me in a box that was not to be opened.
But somehow you know what was in it. Therefore, you opened it.
Yeah. And
Mistake one.
yeah, that was mistake
Well,
one
actually,
for
mistake
sure.
two, taking the box in the first place.
I think that was
Anyway.
mistake one. Anyway, it was brought to me. He hunted me down by name. Somehow he knew who to give it to. I was instructed to hold on to it until Skylar came. Skyla.
Right. Kyla. Okay.
Which I know Skyla. Skyla does a lot of running for very important people.
Forsyth with Skyla?
You know her name. You've never actually
Okay.
interacted with her, but you know her name.
Okay. I've heard of Skyla,
Hmm?
but I've never met her.
She can slip through. He kind of looks at Kosha. It's a lot like Kosha. She can slip through a lot of things. Get in and out, not being seen. Very quiet.
That's not that hard.
Well,
But anyway, I digress.
yeah. But she does a lot of running for a lot of higher people who need
So
things
she's
passed
basically a
through.
delivery service.
Yes.
And where might I find Skyla?
I would assume she's currently in Thrice. Not Thrice. Rarmon. I would assume that she's currently in Rarmon. But if she's on an errand for somebody, it's hard to say where she's at. Her home base is in Rarmon, I believe.
Okay.
That's where people get a hold of her.
So did you give this item
I
to
did.
Skyla?
I did.
And this is the last you've heard of it or seen it? Or is there more information?
Well, that was the last I heard of it until I was approached by a gentleman, dark hair. Noticed right away to be wearing a pendant of the same caliber.
You know
He was
this
a little
individual's name?
He was a little scary. No, he did not give me his name. Quite frankly, didn't want to ask.
Might it have been a Tristan?
they wouldn't know that name, and Forsyth would know not to use that name.
Okay.
Okay.
What would they know your family as?
Um, Sometimes the last name of Fallon has come through,
Okay.
which I think he
All
has
right.
used for you guys
Okay.
before.
So I would ask, is it by perchance a man by the name of Fallon, Jimmy's brother?
Jimmy's brother. Um, uh, now that you mention it, did have a little bit of a resemblance to the mistress.
Ah, so it might, because this item might be of their family's uh, possession that has been stolen.
Well, that could explain all the trouble.
Okay, so more than I am looking for it, more than we. Uh, but you say Skyla in Rarmon.
Skyla is typically in Rarmon, unless she's on Aaron,
Okay,
and then it's hard to say where she's at,
and you'd
to be
have
fair.
no idea who Skyla was actually delivering this item to?
Well, an item such as that, and now putting Fallon to it, very unique item. There is only a handful of very prominent people who pass things through the underground that look for such items of such uniqueness, especially when they're mundane. Um, or at least appeared to be mundane. Perhaps it's not mundane.
It is not mundane.
It um uh, one by the
I
name
would
of
say that even if it was, but
yeah. um One by the name of Lady Gara typically sends things
yes,
through Weirfall. The other one
her
is a
I know.
Lord Strolduck,
Him I know.
who goes up north to, I think, Uxfan. And there is one other who does collect unique items. They often, if it's not going to one of them, then it's probably going to be sold. Um, the other one is a Isabella Harak.
I've heard that name before too.
So Lady
Okay,
Isabella, Lord Strolduck, or Lady Gara. Those are
I
the
have a
three that
feeling I
get
know which of those it was.
unique items.
Okay, so I guess we are off to Rarmon. I would remind you,
Not to open boxes. I know. I get
yeah.
it. It's followed me all this time.
Also, other than talking with uh, Skyla, or excuse me, other than talking with what's his name? Brain dead.
Worry.
Wari, yeah. Other than talking with Wari, I would not mention to anyone whatsoever that we were here. Your best friend doesn't need to know it. Your kids don't need to know it. There is
If
no
it'll,
one
if it'll
that needs
keep me
to
out
know
of
it.
trouble,
It will keep
I
you out of trouble
I've
with me.
done forgot you're here. He picks up his ale and he takes a drink.
Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your ale. And I will
Will
actually,
do.
as I turn, I will flip a gold piece onto the ground in front of him because I know he's going to grab it.
Yeah, he'll grab it. He won't grab it right away, but he'll grab it.
Right.
He might put his foot on top of it and slide it.
Yeah.
Hide it from everybody else that'll grab
Yep,
it.
that'll grab it. All right, so
And
you make your way out of the cavern.
yeah, we will make our way out of the cavern and back to our inn to let everybody else know
Okay.
we need to go to Varmon and
All
soon.
right. Currently, you know that everybody currently is at the order of balance. Well, at least
Right.
Fix and Kadeth are. But if you want to go to the end, that's fine too, because they know to look for you at the end.
Actually, we could go to the order of balance because the quicker we can get to Varmon,
Safer.
the better.
All right. You'll head to the
And
Order
they
of
might be
Balance
able to
then.
transport us.
They might. All right. So you make your way to the Order of Balance. Kadeth and Fix, you walk into the conference room and you see Tatra sitting on the conference table because she's short. She's sitting on the conference table, cross-legged. Seems to be kind of in a meditative type of pose.
Okay. Does she usually acknowledge me before I even say anything?
She
It's
says,
about
"Riddle me this,
50-50.
Batman."
Yeah, riddle me this, Batman.
I'll give it
It's about
I'll give it a minute
50-50.
or two. I'll give it a minute or so before I say anything, but
Okay. All right. It doesn't take too long. It's about 30 seconds. About the time you're getting ready to say something, her eyes pop open and she kind of smiles. She says, Kadeth, have you seen the hidden things in the book that you have received?
what book?
You picked up a book from Lord Strolduck, remember?
Oh, I forgot all about that. What I don't remember what book I got from him.
It was,
Did
I
I
can
even
tell you.
write that down? I don't even know if I wrote that in
I
here.
don't know. I know you wrote down that there was a book. I don't know that you wrote down what was in it. It was just a very general
Uh,
session. Here it is. The book. The book was basically about the early days of the
I never wrote it
the
down.
early days of the Order of Balance, or the following of the Raven Queen. The Matron's Ascension, the first champion, Tarek, where you also read about the creation of a twin blade that was given to Corin, so that there was two blades. This book had a lot of that information. The corruption of Tarek, that Tarek was corrupted, and eventually the blades were joined and just given to Corin. You learn about the early commitments of the oath and maintaining balance, the establishment of the first temple in Philolio, the works to refine balance, and how when they were working to refine balance during the destruction of the cities, or they were trying to find balance as it tipped when the cities were destroyed. So
Okay. Um. So, i- do I know what she might be referring to as far as hidden things?
roll me an insight.
Let's see. 22.
22. Okay, hidden things. Hidden things can be all kinds of things. You've heard of, invisible inks. You've heard of um, hidden pages. Like sometimes pages are a little bit thicker at where you can peel them apart and there'll be additional information. Sometimes some hidden things are literally in the binding of the book. Sometimes they're codes within the book, like where page numbers would be, or maybe there are letters that are capitalized that shouldn't be capitalized, like coding type of things.
Hmm.
Also, on top of that, you do know that you have seen your own masters do this, that occasionally um, blood will reveal. There are some books. The reason you know this is because the Raven Queen deals with a lot of blood magic and things. That blood, sometimes dripped like on the binding of the book, will reveal things within the book that were also once hidden.
Okay.
You've seen the masters do it. You have never done it yourself.
Then I'll just tell her, no, I hadn't really considered looking for any hidden things. But is there something you would suggest to look for? Or is it something I should do now?
Look now, look later is no, never mind. However, I believe it is only your blood that it will find.
Interesting. I will take a look in a bit, perhaps. But first, there's some things I wanted to discuss with you, and one suggestion that I had for you.
Yes?
As far as the things to discuss, we we ran into seemingly by happenstance, but as you know, many times these things are not happenstance. Ran into someone from the Order of the Third Eye. I forget what you said they were called, but
Yes. Order of
okay,
Third Eye. Yep.
Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye. Yeah. We drive around with one headlight.
That's Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, almost had that. No, not really.
No.
Ask me about Mozart. Ask me about Mozart. Nah.
So we ran into a young lady from the Order of the Third Eye, and she seemed to know something of our current quests slash dilemmas, even though she had no idea who we are until she saw us in the city and just happened to figure out who we were when she saw us in Ephraimon, and we managed to trade information. What do you know of the Order of the Third Eye?
Seers, fortune tellers, um, full of foresight and wisdom. Some use their gifts for gain. Others use their gifts for aid. Most follow Savras. Savras? Sarvis.
Yeah.
Savras.
Now, apparently, one of who should not be named, the mage that works for her, was a former member.
Yes, unfortunately, sometimes Order of the Third Eye does exile members when they are detrimental to the order.
Yes, that's what I gathered.
They particularly frown upon inward quarrel. Those that see fighting against others that also see, they are, it is frowned upon.
And also, apparently, there's a book owned by, and I forget what they said the name was right offhand, but blah blah blah.
A book?
Wasn't it a book?
Or are you
No.
talking about the
Or
crystal?
the crystal, sorry.
The crystal ball?
There was a crystal ball that's owned by Savras, but
Lazarus. Lazarus. And Umdera.
A Lazarus.
Yes, Lazarus is the high seer of the
Oh,
order.
okay. Yeah, the Lazarus.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, he has not had his crystal ball for quite some time.
But apparently, it is currently being held by one of their members. Still apparently currently a member, but I have a feeling may not be for
Dolan
much
Bada.
longer.
Yes,
Is that
Dolan.
right?
What? Dolan Bada,
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes, he moves.
who is traveling with a traveling circus.
That makes sense. That's why he moves.
Do you know anything about him?
Also a member of the Third Eye. He
Former member.
Well, no,
uh
he's still a member,
still a member
according to the girl.
I thought he
currently.
was no longer.
Nope,
No,
he is
just
currently a member.
what's her name's mage isn't.
Yeah, Devakri is no longer a member.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Dolan, he is one that uses his gifts for gain.
And they don't generally see a problem with that, though, do they?
No. You've got the gift, use it.
I mean, I know the old woman in Key, who apparently is also a member.
Oh yes, Giselle.
Yes. She obviously uses her gifts for gain,
Yes.
though I think she's a little smarter about it.
I mean, Giselle is more likely to be trusted than Dolan, though Dolan is often more likely to be right.
Interesting.
I mean,
So,
might have
and
something to do with the crystal ball.
it could at this point. It sounds like it's a fairly powerful artifact.
Many eyes it
Well,
has.
well, it's a artifact of a god, so that's sort of like saying your sword is a pretty powerful artifact.
Well, yes, that's true.
Crystal ball of Severus.
Now, the other thing, well, one other thing, just so you, in case you have any insight, and I'll pull out the cards and show her where we're at with those. Oh, what's up?
I smell smoke. I don't know if it's coming from outside. It smells like a candle, to be honest. But I don't
Oh,
think we have any candles lit.
It's coming from Alex's room. That's the reason the
That's
smoke detectors
okay.
came off.
yeah, I'll
Car went off.
Wow, we have smell-o-vision, guys.
It's television.
television. Yeah, smell it all the way in Arizona from Ohio.
Strangeness.
And it could be something outside, anyways.
What I'm
do have
thinking.
your
I think it's
window
something
open,
outside.
and the
Your
air
window's
is
open.
blowing in.
That's
We're
true.
watching your curtain
The
billow.
curtain keeps hitting me in the shoulder.
The breeze feels nice.
Yes, it does.
So I'll show her the cards and kind of just briefly tell her what things we found, and I'll make sure to tell her about the space station, for lack of a better word, because it seems like something she would be interested in.
Orbital observatory.
Yeah, there you go.
Orbital observatory. Yes, I like that. Although it didn't orbit a whole lot.
Well, it had
Oh,
to orbit.
Well, it's
It's
technically in orbit, but
it's
it's also a fixed location. So
it's affixed above Filolio.
But it's still orbiting, or it's in the orbit. I don't know.
It's in the orbit. Yes, it's in orbit. but it's not orbiting.
Anyways, but yeah, so
Anyway,
I'll let her know all that stuff.
all right. Ash, she will be kind of lost in thought.
And if she has, basically, I'm looking to see if she has any insight or thinks we're already on the right track or whatever.
Oh, the cards. She will look at the cards and she's like, huh. Looking at the fake card. That is the crystal ball. That is what Dolan should have.
Yes.
Should. Have you seen vision that he doesn't have it?
I have not.
And as far as everyone knows, he does have it, but I think we will be finding out relatively soon. Um, well, if you don't have any additional insight, then there is one last thing that I want to leave you with. Make a trip to Ephraimon, even if just for a little while.
In the beyond. Beyond the
Yes.
steadfast.
Apparently, many of the Order of the Third Eye actually go there for a refreshing their mind's eye.
That would probably be good.
And I know with as many visions as you tend to have, that might be a wise thing to do at some point.
Yes, I see many. Clearing through the leaves, the muck, and the mire.
What?
Stay on the path. The path will lead you to new information.
That is
Perhaps,
always the hope.
perhaps something of which you don't already know. It will give you something in order to allow you to be prepared.
Interesting. Very well.
I believe you'll find it on the way to Orlin.
Well, I think our journey will be leading us perhaps through Armon towards Malave, because I believe the circus is in Malave at the moment.
It travels much in Malave, usually around Orlin.
Very well. Um, yeah, and I'll go ahead and head back out.
All right.
Um, depending on like how long this all took, because I mean, I'm just having a couple short conversations.
Yeah. You will probably find Evangeline, to be honest, because Evangeline left before you even talked to Kosha, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm not necessarily going to be looking for anyone yet. I'm actually going to plan to head to my normal room
Okay.
and basically, well, I'm gonna turn to Fix and say, if you don't mind, there's something I want to do that it could take minutes, it could take more time, I don't know. But if you could help to make sure I'm not disturbed.
I'll be your guard for a change. Yes.
Thank you. And I'll go into my room and, basically I'm actually going to get out of my armor,
Okay.
sit on the
That's
floor.
1
It's
hour
gonna
down.
take. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna take more than a minute.
My armor's
What
not that bad to take on and off.
isn't it a breastplate?
So it's like 5 minutes. It's half
Yeah.
plate.
Uh-huh.
It's like 5 minutes.
You could always ask Fix to help you. It's not like
Okay,
you're
yeah, that's
naked
true.
underneath.
I'll have
That's
Fix help
true.
me
You're
take
not.
the armor off before I do anything then.
Yeah. And
Those
he,
two are always dressing and undressing each other.
Yeah, it's the nature of armor,
yeah.
It is
Always
the
having
nature
people
of
help me get
armor.
dressed.
I haven't made it to to get myself a squire to help with it yet. So
Hey, you
Right?
guys both need a squire.
There you go. So I'll have him help me take the armor off. But then I'm gonna basically sit on the floor.
I'm gonna step outside
Some
and stand at the door and listen,
All right.
so I can
Yeah,
also do
I'll
my own stuff.
set the book on the ground on the floor in front of me, summon the sword, and I'm actually gonna use the sword to, you know, do the standard slice my palm and drip some blood on the binding.
All right. Okay. You're gonna slice your palm, drip blood, and as it hits the book, the first one kind of sizzles just a little bit. And you're like, "That's yaks," and it it kind of takes you off guard. The next couple of drops kind of pool in one area, and as you kind of wait and you watch, the blood starts to move. It moves up the spine or up over to the spine and up along the spine's edge, and then it goes over the edge, and it looks like it's going into the pages.
Okay. I'll give it a few seconds, but then I'll go ahead and start opening the book and seeing what is revealed. What's
Okay.
new? What's in there that wasn't there before?
Okay. As you
There's
flip through
something
the
there that wasn't there before.
there's something there that wasn't there before. Um, y- as you flip through you pick up the book and immediately you notice that there are just a couple of pages that are now red.
Okay.
And so instantly you just go straight to that.
Right.
You flip that open, and where there was once words, at least you're pretty sure that there was other words there. There is no other words there except for written in blood. It says, balance is shifting, you must restore. 7 still stand, and Shaji, at last, the door.
Interesting.
I thought there were 8 left. Are there 7? Oh no, there are 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And which one was Shaji?
Shaji was the
The
8th
one that disappeared.
to
It
fall.
didn't
It
fall
disappeared.
And
of the
that's
original.
is that the
That's
one
That's
we
the
went to
already
the
one
went
other
to?
plane.
we went to.
The first one we went to?
Uh-huh.
Really? Okay. Okay, now
Yeah.
what was the wording again? I want to make
It
sure.
said, balance is shifting, you must restore. 7 still stand, and Shaji, at last, the door.
Okay. And
Does
that's
that
just
mean
on
we're
one
gonna
page,
find
or
the other 7?
is that just on one page, or is that the message throughout the pages that were
Uh,
read?
that's the message throughout the pages that are now read.
Okay.
It's that.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. And I'll go ahead and flip through the rest of the book real quick to see if there's anything else that
Okay.
is different. But
As you flip through, there's no words necessarily that are different. There's nothing else written in blood, but everything else seems to just become easier to read. Like where it would have taken you 8 hours to read this book, you figure the way you're flipping through it now, everything's just kind of coming to you. It'd only take you maybe 4.
okay, interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not going to read the whole thing necessarily, but I'll spend 10, 15 minutes looking at stuff before I go ahead and get up and clean my hand back off and poke my head out the door. Well, I'm not sure how long I was in there fixed. I don't think it was long,
About a half an hour.
but I'm ready to get
32
my
minutes and
armor on
46
and
seconds.
what's that?
You were in there for 32 minutes and 46 seconds.
Oh,
47. 48.
okay.
Oh.
Well, I think I'm ready to get my armor back on and we can go find the others. We received a rather interesting message in the last 32 minutes and however many seconds.
All right.
What message is that?
Yeah, I'll wait till we're all together, I think.
Okay. While he
I'm
was
going
in
to
there,
use.
Yep.
Oh,
While he was in there,
go ahead.
what time is it right now?
it's still relatively early. Well, maybe not, because you guys have been running around having conversations, and whatnot. I would say it's getting to be about lunchtime
I
because
think,
you showed up that morning.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
my circlet should have recharged by now.
Yeah, should be.
yeah, it would have recharged. Yeah,
Actually, it would have recharged the previous day, I believe.
yeah. I
And
think
we're
it was
just,
last night that technically it kind
yeah.
of clicked back in.
So as soon as I feel that tingle of power back in it, and most of the time while he's been quiet and following with, well, if it did last night, never mind. Ignore what I just said. My brain is gone. Yeah, as soon as he goes in and
Okay.
shuts the door, um, the first thing I'm trying to do, and I looked it up, even if she's wearing a ring of thought protection, she can still choose to allow me to communicate with her.
hmm
Um,
Yep. That's the same thing with the ring that Forsyth has. He
yeah,
could still allow it to come through, but
right. I'm gonna try to connect with Gidna.
all right. You call Gidna.
Ring,
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 ring, ring,
Ring,
ring,
banana
ring.
ring,
phone.
ring, ring. Banana phone. Um, it it takes a moment. It's really weird. Your mom usually picks up pretty quickly. You can feel the exasperation on your mom when she picks up. But it takes a moment, and then you feel the connection. She doesn't respond. She doesn't say anything. Um, they know that it's you, right? It's an
Yeah.
instant like, okay. She doesn't say anything.
Did you decide to take a vacation?
Couple seconds go by. I had work to do.
So important that you would be parted of one of your prized possessions?
She waits. It's extended. Like she does not respond quickly. Um, she finally responds. It was necessary.
Does it sound like she's upset about it, or like it was necessary as in I'm tired of that?
Roll me an insight. You can even do it with advantage. You know, Gidna.
Okay, I'm not horrible at insight. It helps if I find a d20 and not a d12.
You can roll a d12. I mean, there's more chance for failure.
Okay, so it's d12 and double it, right?
No. No, just two
D24?
d12s and take the higher one.
Well, thank you for the advantage because that would have been a 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, 23.
23. You are getting almost flatline. Like there's no emotion in her response. She doesn't seem to be aggravated. She doesn't seem to be concerned. She doesn't seem, there's a lot of things that's missing. It's just all emotion is missing. It's almost as if she's reading from a script. And there's definitely a lot of pause. When you ask, you
There's
don't get an
pause.
immediate response. There is a lot of pause. And then there's a response.
I'm going to take a moment and think back to some memory. Um, sometime that my brothers were particularly cruel and did something almost over the line. I don't know what that could be, and I'm going to say, uh, you're acting almost how I felt after, and then I'll explain the situation, but I will change a key detail. Like if it was at the house, I will say that it was somewhere else.
Okay. Um, do you ask her a question after that?
I'll just state it more as matter of fact to see if
Okay.
she corrects me.
Um, she will. No, she will not correct you. Um, and she will not respond. She won't correct you. She won't respond. You didn't ask her a direct question. She's not going to respond. But she's not correcting you either.
Who is this?
I am Gidna. Trinson.
Something's wrong with you.
Six will hear over his communication device. I need to speak with you.
Please
I'll,
hold.
because they're two different conversations. I'll just be like,
I cannot, of course, hear what you're saying.
I just be
No.
like, kind of maybe having a conversation with my sister at the moment. Something's off.
Perhaps you should get off.
I can't.
Got it for 24 hours.
I can choose what she hears and what she doesn't, but
Yeah, it has to be directed toward her. Like even his own thoughts are privy to himself still. Like it's not a
Do you trust Gavian?
Yes.
We need to talk.
Well, I'm standing in front of Kadath's room playing guard. Yeah, it's a change.
I'll be right there. And you get a flat line from me too.
Me. Dang it, she hung up on me.
Well then, would Evangeline tell him not to communicate any further until we talk? Otherwise, he's gonna start right back at it.
I mean, it's there for 24 hours. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did tell you perhaps you should hang up. But then that's up to you. But I'll be there shortly. I don't know how long it takes me to get there. I'm probably somewhere outside the
It'd
order.
take you about 20 minutes or
Well, wouldn't she have already been headed back?
Mm-hmm.
so. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll sit there and I'll wait.
Okay. No more
And
communication.
I'm replaying her responses and trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Like what would cause that? And the only thing that's popping into his mind is like she's getting the questions, she's repeating the questions, and then she's answering. So either she's taking direction from someone, or somebody is somehow intercepted the telepathic link.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. All right. Kadeth comes out before Evangeline manages to make it there, but Evangeline gets there very shortly after. Like you catch them in the hallway, like they haven't even really gone anywhere.
The first thing I'm going to do when I see Kadath is I'm going to ask him to pull the fate card. And then I'm going to look at Fix. And I'm going to tell him, I've just been to see Gavian. He is attempting to track Gidna. He has the ability to keep your mother from seeing his movements. I think there's more at play. He thinks there's more at play. And I am going to cautiously, with my sweetest look that I can, tell Fix,
At in her eyes.
I think Gidna might know who your mother is.
You mean Gara?
Getting a nose.
I mean Gara. I think Gara might know who your mother is.
What does that change
No,
anything?
I am going to say so that the thought doesn't even get a chance to slip out, just in case. Who should not be named, might know who your mother is. She might be pulling the strings.
And what difference does it make if she knows?
She could cause a lot of trouble for your mother. Inside the Order of Chaos, who she is can be known. Her position in key could be in jeopardy if others know who she is.
So you think that she is holding this over my mother's head in order to extort Gidna into doing what she wants?
Possibly. And you know what she wants.
Besides my head?
In my head.
About this time, Kosha and Forsyth are going to be getting into the monastery. You guys are still talking in the hall, aren't you?
We probably would have stepped into Kadatha's room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
And when Kadath pulls out the fate card, I want to look at it very, very closely. I will pick it up. I will use all of my tools. I will even use my foreseeing tiny things on my
On your goggles,
goggles. I want to see if I can tell what's floating in the crystal ball.
Yeah. All right. Roll me your. I will let you choose investigation or perception, whichever is higher. I think it's investigation for you.
Yes, it is. Roll the natural 20.
Nice.
27.
All right. You're flip.
This has been bugging me all week.
You're flipping down your little spectacles and zooming in, and you get that card and you get it just right, whatnot. About this time, you hear a little soft knock at the door. Tock, tock, tock. Do you open the door? Does anybody open the door?
I will.
It's
Okay.
Kadat's room. I'm not going to open his door for it. Like, yeah, come into his room.
Yeah, come on in.
Evangeline, I'm focused.
You're focused.
I didn't even hear the knock.
Kosha and Forsyth walk in. Kosha is the one that knocked. They come on in and you shut the door behind them. You're looking. You're super focused. As you're looking in there, you see that it is moving. It's currently moving. You're watching it move. It's swirling as if like it's, like the cornstarch with the glitter and stuff like that. It's swirling around in this crystal ball like that. And all of these little spots that are in this crystal ball, they're kind of in the background, they're fuzzy, but every now and then one comes across and you see it and it looks at you. It's an eye. And then it'll look at you. It'll pause for a minute. Everything else is still swirling, and then it'll move onward. Another one will swirl around, pause, and look at you, and then swirl. Eyes. It's literally a crystal ball of many eyes.
When the eyes come into focus and it's looking out, are they looking out or are they looking at me?
They seem to be looking at you.
I will turn it upside down and set it somewhere.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see her do that. Be like, did you see something interesting?
Extremely. Inside the crystal ball are many eyes. And when they would come into focus, I would see them. But it was not that they were just there. They were looking at me, looking at them.
Interesting.
And I think we need to take a break. Because
All right, we will be
We'll be
right
back.
That's been all week long.
All right, and we're back.
Ring the bell.
All right. Well, we are in Cadeth's
Like
room,
it. Ring the
all
bell.
4 of you, and Kosha. And Evangeline just let everybody know that the eyes see.
The eyes are looking at us. Well,
The eyes have
usually
it.
the eyes are just looking into a
Waiting for
void,
that.
so I will put the card back into the void, aka the bag of holding that they sit in. And I'm gonna pull out the book.
All right.
Are the pages still red?
They're kind of a pinkish now. They seem to be fading. It seems like if you just wait long enough, it'll fade and it'll disappear.
Okay, good. Then while it still hasn't faded, I'm going to basically open it up to those pages one at a time and let everybody just read it. Just have everybody look, and they can all read it for themselves.
As you read in kind of a pinkish, brownish color, you read, balance is shifting, you must restore, 7 still stand, and Shaji at last the door.
Now,
So
at this point, I will respond. Haven't we already found the door?
Well,
Or
I'm wondering if this is more referring to maybe Shaji is the door to get to the others, or
yeah, that's I think yeah.
Yep.
So
Possibly.
we discovered Saji. We brought back the dwarf guy. I don't remember.
The few survivors of Osnu.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it is
But that
under
city is
reconstruction.
destroyed.
right?
But
That
it's
wasn't
currently
one of the
being
7.
isn't it currently being reconstructed?
No, they're
No.
building a city in Lipgera. Basically, they're expanding Lipgera. But you did go to the floating stones there, the foundation stones, and you did activate an orrery.
Oh, that's right, we did.
And you
Wait,
activated the orrery in Saji.
and if Saji is the door, could it be that we need to go back to Saji since it's on a different plane of existence currently, and
Which,
then from Saji go to these other locations? It's in a different time, if I remember correctly.
yeah,
It was
well,
quite disturbing and sickening for me.
yeah. Which one was Saji?
The one
Saji
that's in a
Saji
was
was the
different
one
time.
under the water.
On the map.
Oh, it's the one in Owlbear. Let me look in Owlbear here
I'm
because that's
looking.
the one most of you will look at.
I can't.
Oh, I'll admit you.
I
There you
lost
go.
my access.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. It's probably when I
lost a lot
updated.
I lost it when I lost my
Oh.
Google
Saji was
Chrome.
the one over by the
Saji is the one that's just a
Clock of
red
Kala.
circle
Near the clock of Kala?
near the clock
Yes.
of Kala. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Where is this red circle?
The
What
red
number is it?
circles, it's not a number, it's just
Oh.
a red circle. All of the other red circles with numbers are the ones that fell. Although they don't any longer look red. They now look kind of pinkish.
Pink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's
So what
see.
happened there?
The map is fading.
Oh no!
You have to hurry
Oh,
before the map
no.
fades away completely.
Oh no!
Yeah, my yellows got dimmer too.
Weird.
The yellow circles are the floating relics, in essence, and they do line up with other cities. You
No
guys
way to
took
speak of your seniors. Relics.
relics. Yeah, but you're not floating. All right, you come. The foundation stones is the one that you already activated here. That's down here.
All of those little yellow circles are all of the 8 cities.
That is the 8 cities that were part of the original 16.
That were just, and those are the 8 that were destroyed.
Those are the 8 that were not destroyed when Saji
okay.
disappeared.
When Saji disappeared. Now, we did find Osnu, and Osnu was destroyed. However,
Right.
we haven't seen the other 7.
You have not seen the other
No.
7.
The only ones we've seen is one of the red ones, number 2.
That's number 2. That was Filolio.
And we
It's
were
definitely destroyed.
It is
we
destroyed.
were talking about going to the Citadel of the Iron Saint, the one there, but we got distracted in Nyliesh
Mm-hmm.
You did.
and then came back north and got distracted more.
Yep. Hey,
And
it's an
ended up
open
going to
world.
Filolio. And at the moment, we're not even going toward any of them.
I think that crystal ball needs to be restored to where it should be.
I think so too.
Rich, by the way, was not originally on the map. I put it on the map where Leah Gwyn gave you direction to. It's up here.
Umdara?
Yeah, Umdara.
Dara?
Dara.
Not too far from the empty machine, whatever that is. Well, so I think we need to get to Rarmon and from there find that circus.
I think
Which
we need to make
you believe
sure.
the circus is probably near here.
I do not think that it would be a good thing to lead she who should not be named to any of these ancient locations.
Oh, absolutely not. Letting her even know that they exist.
Oh. What did you do?
What do you mean, what did I do?
Not you, Joe. I'm watching the YouTube feed.
I was trying to figure something out.
Yeah, if he flips screens and things like that, sometimes weird things happen.
We went to what looked like a the old thing we used to use.
Yeah, I looked. Yeah, I clicked through to try to find.
Gotcha.
Because it automatically started displaying the map, and I didn't tell it to, so I was like, "What the hell happened?"
Gotta love technology.
Okay.
Great when it works.
Go lay down.
Never know what's going to happen.
Go lay down.
Okay.
All right.
So that's an interesting little hidden information. Keep a hold of that book.
Yes. Well, and this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. I mean, this message will disappear soon. And I believe I'm the only one who can actually reveal it.
That's reassuring, actually.
Considering it took my blood to do so.
Now, is it that you're the only person that can make it reveal itself, or anybody with your blood?
Now that I don't know. But to keep that from being a problem, and I just take it and put it into the same bag of holding that the cards are in.
And he's going to attempt to keep all of his blood.
I'm going to attempt to keep all of my blood.
I will try to prevent my blood from being stolen, best I can anyway.
Okay, so don't get it into bed with the vampire.
Can't say I'd be planning to, but thanks for the advice.
Or need to perform one of your guys' blood rituals. You guys do those, right?
Occasionally. They're not For one, they're not well known outside of the higher parts of the order and our little group here.
And she who should not be named.
Unfortunately, she knows.
I'm pretty sure my mother knows.
Well, yes, there are a handful of people who
It's a
either
big
know
secret,
or
except for everyone.
yeah, there are people who are people of power who tend to know, who tend to find
People
out
of
things
power.
like that.
Not all people of power.
um, so
But
Holy moly.
doesn't mean
speak.
it's common knowledge.
Yeah, speaking of which, I kind of tap my forehead. What do we want me to do?
Well,
You
I can't
said
hang it
she
up.
wasn't you said she wasn't acting normally?
It seems like there is a delay or a relay of some sort. Anytime I ask her a question, there's a good minute or so pause before the answer, and it is given very flat line without emotion. As well, I had recounted a story from our childhood and missed a detail that Gidna would have jumped on me before for, and she didn't say anything.
so she's definitely not acting herself.
Well, she
Yeah.
should definitely know we're going someplace different than what we're going.
Well, she doesn't know that we're going anywhere. I haven't told her any of that.
Well, that's good. But just in case there's somebody else going on, maybe we should try to lead them astray.
Make
Ah,
Can you get her to think we're going to visit
Cody,
your mother?
go back to your notes from last week. Sorry, I didn't get my notes finished this week. Recount to me what I saw on the maps.
On the maps, you saw, I probably won't say it in the exact order because I didn't write it down, but you saw that Gavian had laid out these maps and had various places marked with arrows and various things. Basically, he tracked Gera and Gidna coming together in Farbrun. He put question marks around there, and he told you why he put question marks around it. And then lost track of Gidna. Don't know where Gidna went after that. Pretty sure that she did make a stop in Rarmon. Gera, however, had not been seen in Rarmon, but had bounced around to various places, including Castle Aventure, Weirfall, Thrice, Orlin. Oh, I said Orlin, didn't I? It's actually Orila, I think.
Are you
She is
talking the one that's in
in
yeah, or
Malay. Yeah,
Arilla?
yeah, Orilla. And she is bounced all the way up. She was last seen headed toward the westwood. Gera,
Okay.
that was. Gidna, however, he's having trouble finding Gidna. Gidna seems to have dropped
I
off
am
the map.
going to, although I probably don't really need to. How protected is this space?
Where we're at?
Yeah.
Well, we're just in my room, so not very.
I'm going to cast see invisibility.
But we could easily go somewhere that is protected.
That too.
Or I can have a master come here and protect us if you think it's necessary.
You cast see invisibility and you do not see anything.
Okay.
I'm going to, I guess I couldn't do that, right?
We are currently in Thrice.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them all about Rarmon and why I think we need to go there.
So what was about Rahman? I kind of missed some of it.
The pin, the
That's
uh,
that's where Skyla is home based
Yeah.
from.
Skyla
Oh, that's right. And
was
it's
the
it's
last
who
one we know to have had the pin,
and the
and
pen
she's in
was whose?
her home base is Rarma.
Or the pen that was Gidna's.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So I think we need to go there to talk to her, see if she
Well,
still has it, and if she did deliver it to anyone, to whom she
If
delivered it.
I
think
think we
if
were
we
gonna
are
go
going
through
to
Rarmon
Rarmon,
anyways, so that works.
which I think we should go to Rarmon.
Yeah, well, I think the plan
I
was to go to
think.
Rarmon and then find we have to go through Milave to
Right.
find the circus anyways.
I think
Right.
that we definitely don't want to say anything about the circus. We need to which one of these cities is furthest away from us?
Milave is further away than
No.
Milave is
Um,
The
our
fallen
area.
I mean,
cities.
if you look at the map of the steadfast, anything up near the crystal skyfields are crystal or cloud crystal skyfields is going to be far away from where you're at because you're in the southern part of the steadfast. So
We're in Thrice right now.
yeah,
I know where we are. I just
We're
don't
right
know
on
where
the
these
edge
other
of the
cities
Black
are.
Range,
I mean,
Black
what I
Mirage.
if
I
we
know where Weirfall is further north,
Okay.
right?
on the map,
Aurelia.
you are in Thrice
Oh, I should look
Yeah.
here. It'll be easier.
in Owlbear. South is Rarmon, which you guys have no. Well, yeah, you
Right.
did guys briefly
Yeah, we've
visit
And
been
that's
there.
where
That's
we're headed.
Rarmon. That's where
Yeah.
you're headed.
Right. And
Arilla
Milave is just
is here.
southwest of that.
So Rarmon to Arilla is like 2 weeks journey.
And the
maybe
circus
3.
is somewhere in this general area.
Yeah, the circus
Or-
is most likely near Arilla,
Or 2 days of flying on a large creature.
or 2 days of flying on a large creature. That's right.
Yeah.
Or really fast if we can find
Right there.
Yeah.
somebody
Transport.
to
Okay.
teleport us.
Six.
Weirfall is up here.
You should.
Oxfun is way up here, where Strollduck was. This is the Westwood.
Somehow elude
Actually,
maybe
if we-
to your sister.
I was thinking maybe get them to think we're going to Key, but
That's what I was gonna say.
because
Either
it would make the
Key-
most sense in this case. Since
In
we're
this
worried
case.
about his sister, let's go talk to family.
Right. Let her know that we're headed to Key to look for her.
He is a long way off from where we're from Rarmon.
Yeah, it's definitely long enough.
Precisely.
Ah,
Even if it's
so
just a day or so.
misdirect.
Yeah, that's the whole
Misdirect.
point is get whoever it
Okay.
is that's controlling her to think we're not going where we are going.
Ah, no problem.
Hmm.
That's
Right
the key
now-
to a good
What is
plan.
the furthest fallen city?
For this fallen city?
Or this fallen city?
Probably
Uh,
the ones at the Cloud Crystal
Cloud
Starfield
Crystal Starfields, yeah.
or
Actually,
Skyfield.
Actually,
the
the
Skyfield.
in the Sea of Secrets. But that's
There is
near the
also
key.
one in the Sea of
Yeah, but
Secrets.
that's the
Yeah.
same direction as where we're going,
Yeah.
or closer to the same direction. So
Just
That
give
would
me-
be
Well, we've already done the untethered.
We don't
Yargaroo.
want to
Yeah.
lead her any of those directions.
So Cloud Crystal Starfield, Skyfield. I mean,
well, no, we don't want to lead her to any of those cities that we might eventually go to. I think.
then
Well,
how
we might
about
eventually
just
go
lead
to
her
Key.
How about the Great Slab?
Hey,
Wow.
there you go. Go to the Great Slab.
Because we're not
What's
going
on
there.
the Great Slab?
That's true.
What's there?
You
It's
have
far
no
to the
idea.
east, and there's nothing that we know of.
Nothing. It is a gigantic, what looks like peninsula, but it's in a rectangular shape with a big crack in the middle of it. Honestly, it kind of looks like a gigantic, like stage or podium.
Okay.
If you were,
Sort of like a mesa.
miles tall.
And that was the what
It's a
Here's a
slab?
mesa.
thought.
The Great
Here's a
Slab.
thought.
Great slab.
Let your sister know we're going to the Great Slab to look for an artifact that will help us to locate her, even through.
But what if this isn't my sister?
That's the whole
Doesn't
point.
matter. If it's
W-
not your sister, it might be Garrett. And if she thinks we're going up there to look for an artifact,
Why do I want her to
she
think that I'm looking for her? Why not just present it that we're going to continue our original
we want
intention?
her to go far away.
I think with your sister, she's not going to believe that we're giving up on looking for her. And I don't know that anybody else would believe it either.
Hence why I said, tell her we're going to go to the north. We're going to look for an artifact that will help us get her.
In fact, if you hint that it might have something to do with blood magic, it's even more
It might
likely that
even better.
she who must not be named would be interested in going that direction.
I just fear that we're making it overly convoluted. And then it gets to one of those situations where it's like where that Sicilian guy was talking about, that I switched it, and
You just want to run into Gara.
no, I want this to be believable.
Why wouldn't it be believable?
It's overly complex. The best lies are based in truth.
Well, that's the reason I suggested Key at first,
Right?
because at least with Key, your mother's there. So
We're
going to
going
talk
to
to your mother
Key
about this
for
makes sense.
information.
That was my reasoning for doing it that way. So if we want to keep it simple, I think that's the best bet. It's far enough from where we are going, but also believable enough
To give us a little
that,
bit of a
Because
jump.
yeah,
we need a little bit of space. We do not have enough information.
no, not even close.
Knock knock, you still there?
Yes.
Where are you?
Safe.
I said where, not what.
This one takes a while. Osper.
Does mother know where you are? Does mother know what you're doing?
No. And no.
Should she?
No. That one was quick.
Why not?
Best left in the dark.
Is that what you guys thought when I was a child?
Yes.
And you were wrong then. What makes you think you are right now?
I do what is necessary. You hear a little bit more hesitation on that one.
Do you do it of your own free will? Uncoerced.
Yes. You hear a little bit of anger.
A little bit of no. Oh,
Yeah, you hear a little bit of anger in that, yes.
Do you do it to keep the secrets that were hidden from me?
No.
I want you to ask her something.
I probably wouldn't be giving a play-by-play, but key things I would probably be saying because it's not like I can't think and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
Ask her if she's doing it to protect you.
What? Are you
Is
doing
the
it to
reason.
are you
Yeah.
doing it to try to keep me safe or keep me from harm?
Yes.
Ask her if her job is finished in Niliesh. I know that seems random, but I have a thought.
Is your work complete in Gone City? That'll be forever how Fix refers to it, by the way.
Gone City.
Mhm.
Yes. Uh she she will say no. I was interrupted.
What needs to be done?
Ma oops. What is her name? Ma I have to find her name. You hear the the tempo of her voice changes and becomes a bit rushed, almost like she's trying to get it out quickly. And she says, Mata Levis,
Mata,
yeah, Mata Levis needs to come to power.
Is that being interrupted as part of this work you're doing? Intentionally.
No.
Oh, and through the telepathy, she can, instead of just thoughts and stuff, she can send like imagery and things like that.
Ooh. Okay, I didn't realize that. She will say no. And she doesn't continue talking because that's what I was thinking in my head. But you will get the image of Phalathus in the square of Niliesh. So it's not. She's giving you the no. It's not interrupted because I'm gone.
Gotcha.
It's still moving. It's just gonna take longer.
How far is it from where we're at now to Key?
Oh, it is whoop, whoop, where you are now. Well, not far if you ask the order to teleport you, because they can actually teleport you to Key. If you were to travel to Key, it would take you 7 or 8 weeks via river.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't like that you're doing this for me, but I know I can't stop you from doing it. Is there anything you want me to tell Mother when I see her tomorrow?
Nice.
Don't worry.
Be
I
happy.
I would actually, what I would say is, actually, let me check something before I make that statement, because I don't want there to be a deception roll or an insight roll or anything like that to throw it off. All right. So, yes. Is there anything you would like me to tell Mother when I speak with her tomorrow?
She will say, "Don't worry."
When is Mother not worried?
At 2 a.m. when she's asleep.
Oh no, she's even worrying there. Then
I'm pretty sure she's even worrying then. Uh, she'll she'll respond never.
so it's gonna take more than just don't worry.
Yeah, she's not responding.
Well, I will tell her not to worry. But as futile as that may be, you should know this, Gidna. If something happens to you, if Mother won't do it, then I will raise whatever cities, whatever kingdoms to the ground to get to whoever is responsible.
Evangeline, I have this flash. And I give him an evil eye. I have this flash of a vision I once had of my home being destroyed.
Evangeline gives you the evil eye.
I didn't say nothing. Oh.
Yeah, Gimna won't respond. You're picking up very quickly that unless you ask her a pointed question, she will not respond.
How does that make you feel? Oh no.
How does that make with no emotion? She will respond. No. I mean, did you really ask her?
No.
Okay.
I'll leave it that. Well, actually, no. I'll leave it with the "I love you," and then we'll go silent on the on it,
Okay.
and
Okay.
probably send her an image of like a big hug, like us hugging at some point.
All right. Well, nothing comes back. But you know she got it because you're connected.
Yeah. And
When
then
it
I'll look to
becomes
the others.
clear.
And I'll just
Okay,
say,
go ahead.
I'll look to the others and I'll say, the seed has been planted that we're going to key.
I will reach into my pocket. I will pull out this cute little stone.
Does it look like a
I have
sending stone?
I have 20. Yeah, it looks
It does. You've
incredibly a
seen
lot.
one.
It looks incredibly a lot like cadet stone. And I have to formulate 25 words or less, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll look at Evangeline. Do I figure? I mean, I think I saw that she purchased them,
Yes.
and then I know
Well,
that
you
she went
know
to.
that I was.
You were in the market
Yeah,
for them,
it's good.
Yes.
It's going to be really clear in a minute.
and
You're going to know for sure.
Fix would just say, it'd be like, "Why don't you tell him to come here?" So we can
Care to
have a
share what you
conversation.
have?
I will say he spoke to her. She's protecting him. At the order of truth. Nope. At the order of balance.
Well, that was an extra 5 words. No.
No, not truth balance.
Come and join us.
Is there someone I should tell the guards to be expecting?
He will respond, balance is not my choice of comfort. Be there in 10?
Yes. I will respond to Cadet. Yes.
My brother.
Gavian is coming
Interesting.
here. About 10 minutes.
I'm sure he'll love it here. I say sarcastically as I can do
I'm
with as little sarcasm as I can
I'm
muster.
sure he's hating it at this very moment.
Very well. And I'll go outside and find a page or whatever and tell him,
Brief description.
yeah, give him a description and tell him go stand by the doors, and when he gets here, lead him to my room, please.
Very well. The page will say, of course.
So, Evangeline, through this link, I can
Yeah.
see, I can send imagery to the recipient. I wonder what if it would be receptive of me sending imagery of different ways I've imagined harming she who should not be named.
Eh,
It would probably be best you keep that to yourself.
Why? She knows I hate her.
I'm sure she can imagine it all on her own without your help.
and why give it away?
I was going to say, you'll give her a chance to plan, maybe.
Oh, it wouldn't be like specifics. Like it would just be the general like pictures of
Strangling her,
yeah, strangling her. Yeah.
pulling out all of her fingernails and toenails.
Okay.
ripping that spine off of her back.
Yeah.
Right. All right. After about 10 minutes, if there's anything you wish to discuss before Gavian gets there, now's the time to do it.
Mm, not that I
I
can
think
think
I
of.
already told
Okay.
Fix that I went and saw Gavian.
I mean, while we're sitting there, I'll send a message to Tatra through one of the pages also,
Okay.
since I'm already out there. Just read the book. Interesting message. And that's all I'm gonna say.
All right. The page will go off. About 10
You
minutes,
can play at this game.
right? You're picking up. You're picking up what she's throwing down. Um, you'll hear a little knock at the door. When you answer it, you will see the page you told to wait for Gavian, and Gavian's standing right behind him. And
I'll smile.
Welcome.
all right, you got me here.
Is it a very obvious smile, Evangeline?
Oh yeah.
Do we need to give you guys some privacy?
Not in my
I'll
room.
This is not my room.
I live here.
I will look at Fix and say, no, we need to tell him what you just learned from your sister.
Oh, well, that's different.
I would explain what the conversation and the inflections and the feeling I got from it.
Yeah, doesn't that doesn't sound like Gidna.
No.
I mean, if it is Gidna, then something else is going on. Did she really say she was in Osper?
That's what she said. I don't know that I believe her.
I don't believe her either.
I wrote on my notes that she was lying. Oh.
Good call. Good call. Uh,
I believe that she's probably somewhere far from Osper. You know, so
Question is
people
where.
sometimes have this idea to give names of places far from where they're actually going to be. Who'd have thought it?
yeah, who'd have thought that? I don't
Don't know
know.
why
I do
people
that
would
all
do
the
that.
time.
It's such a weird thing to do.
People do that all the time. Um, yeah, that's either she is being coerced, but even then, it seems like she would have more inflection in her voice if it was really without anything.
There were small rays of emotion, but very minimal.
Okay. Wow. Uh,
How good is she at what she does?
how good is
Can she
Gidna?
control her emotions?
Oh, yes, Gidna can definitely can control her emotions. Um,
Possibly if you were speaking to her actually, there was somebody else in the room with her.
Yes, but that's not like they can hear unless they found a way to listen into her thoughts.
Which they
yeah,
very well could have done.
yeah. I was gonna say the
Body
spell
language
that
and
she
micro
used.
expressions, she was controlling herself.
Consider who the
Possible.
mage of a certain person is and his abilities.
Yes, the mage would be able to do such things. Um, it is possible that she is being commanded or controlled via magic. If
Something
you saw,
such as a domination.
yeah, um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you were charmed by Zybella,
Yes.
were you were in control of what
To
you
a
did
point.
to a point, but had she wanted to?
I would have done nearly anything she wanted at that point.
Those sorts of magics typically, Cybella is a bit of an exception, but they typically have difficult times making somebody do something that it is against their nature.
True. But is lying against your sister's nature?
To me, no.
Well, that's true. She does not lie to you.
No, but lying in general is not against her nature.
No.
No, but not to me.
But she has.
She
I
has
don't know.
For your
withheld
whole
information.
childhood.
She
Yeah,
has
she
withheld
withheld.
information, but that is not necessarily lying.
But she's never flat out
Which
lied to fix.
But would she if she felt it would keep you safe?
True.
That is a question.
I think she would probably. If she thought it was the best way to keep you safe.
because keeping me in the dark has done so much for keeping me safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
But
And
the things we'll
I'll
do
look
for
pointedly at Gavian at that when I
the
say that.
things we do for those we care about can sometimes be rather extreme.
Hey, baby bro. Couldn't exactly take you out on quest, now could we?
Could have
At
been
least in
fun, but
Rarmon, we knew you would be safe in Rarmon.
I think
Well,
Rarmon is where we need to go,
yeah.
and I'm not so sure he will be safe there now.
as far as
No,
I can tell, nobody's in Rarmon at the moment.
And to be quite honest, Evangeline, this whatever it is that these gods have us on, it's not exactly like they're concerned with our safety.
that is true for the most part, except I would believe that the Raven
That's
Queen
true. I
has
am
more.
carrying around an evil god in my pocket.
Well, and I think the Raven Queen has more interest in our safety than others.
I think there are specific gods that may be concerned for our safety, but the head honcho and those, I don't think they really care. And as
No,
he
I
says
would
that,
tend to
he
agree.
touches the uh the cog on his breastplate, thinking back to his vision in which, and then he annoyed the hell out of Kadath.
Yes. Oh. Gavian is like, I can't speak to any gods or speak for any gods.
Oh, I can speak to one, sort of, kind of. He sometimes responds.
Well, you're doing better than I am.
I
Maybe.
can generally get
Depends on
responses
your
when I need.
perspective, I suppose. Um, but question, if you flip that around, the gods didn't think you could achieve it, would they send you in the first place?
They did test us.
Of course, they had no idea who they were getting at first, so that was always interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're not perfect. They're just powerful.
This is true.
All right. You guys are going to go to Rarmon?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need me to come along?
Do you want to come along?
I mean, I was going to stay here, but if you need me to come along, I can, but I don't
The
think I
difference
call.
between want and need.
We can call you if we need you. I can call you, and I wink if we need you.
And he will wink back.
Wow.
I'll answer your call, Shiny.
Pet names and everything, huh?
Oh,
Well-
I'll smile real big.
I'm not going to be
And
able
I-
to sleep for
and
like a
I
week.
will
Fix, I think you
purposely
got competition for
purposely look at his where his pendant would hang, whether it's showing or not showing. Fix has competition.
as far as which one of us is going to get the next date.
Hey, you know what? I'm already 2 ahead. You got to catch up.
Oh,
I'll
the three
I'll
of
look
you.
at Gavian and say, "You want to get a drink?"
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but something tells me you should probably head to Rarmon.
Yes, I think you are correct there. We do
Find
need
what
to get
you
the
can
arm
find.
on.
We'll put a pin in it,
Put a
and
pin
I'll
in
look at Fix and
Put
go, "Okay, I
something in
got
it.
a date."
it.
You have to actually go on the date for it to count.
We'll get
You're
there.
just saying that it's because it's your brother.
All right.
I know him. Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. I got things to take care of here. We'll put a pin on it. And he'll turn around and he'll grin real big at you, Kofik. I'll see you again.
I'll smirk and I'll kind of get in there close and be like, I will keep you awake for 24 hours of nonstop gibbering and talking and imagery
And
until
we
you
all
go
know he can
crazy.
do it.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I believe you.
At the end of that, he'll like leave it as a pause like that for like 2 seconds, and he'll lean in closer and whisper so that no one else can hear. If you heard her,
Duly noted. And he will walk out. All right.
How long until we can get to Rarmon?
As long as it
Wait a
takes
minute.
to go talk to
Have we-
Meryl.
Have we teleported once today?
You did
Yep.
teleport once today.
and I haven't slept, so I'm at a
Gee, whose fault is that?
Are
negative.
exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. All right.
We might want to
You
wait till the morning then.
find
I'm
Meryl.
fine. I'm
Oh,
a dwarf.
yeah.
I can handle it.
It's just a constitution check. All right. You find Meryl, and Meryl says, "Yeah, I can get you to Rormon. That's not a problem."
That's where we need to be.
All right. All right. Conference room. He draws out the circle. Anything else you need before we finish?
Good night's sleep.
I don't believe so.
Spell slots back.
Spell slots back. It's noon, man.
The
All
blessing
right.
of the Raven Queen is all I need.
Raven Queen's blessing upon you. All right. Draws in the last sigil, lights up, and you guys poof to just outside Rarmon.
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throws.
Oh, -1. That's a +6. 24.
Natural
You're
20. That's kind of cool. I'm rolling digital dice right now, and I rolled a natural 20, and a dragon came in.
Nice.
22.
I
All right.
rolled my dice. I rolled a natural 3 plus 3, so I got a 6.
You
Oh, I
are
beat
feeling
that. I
quite
got an 8.
queasy. You are also feeling quite queasy.
See, that's
I
what
had the
happens.
Raven Queen's blessing.
That's what happens when you hang out with my brother. You see, you get queasy.
You get queasy.
That's what happens when you don't get the Raven Queen's
I
blessing.
did kind of get weak in the knees.
Oh.
They get weak in the stomach. Yeah.
Weak in the brain.
Oh.
Well, you make it to Rarmon. Where do you go? Where is your intention to go in Rarmon?
To a bed.
To a bed. Well, you have a home. You have a room. It's at the
True,
Orrery.
you do.
Yeah.
You could check in
And
with
I don't
what's his
think
name,
we've ever
Garrett.
been there. Or we
Not
haven't been there
since-
much, anyway.
Not since we've started our adventure.
Mm.
No. Let's go to my place.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
Check out your place.
Right. You head to the Orrery. You go wandering through the streets. They're very familiar to you. It's a decent sized city. It's not quite as big. It's definitely not as big as Key. It rivals Thrice. It is the capital city of this country. And you head to the Orrery, and you know immediately that there is something wrong at the Orrery. You know this place meticulously, like the back of your hand. You could run through it blindfolded. And yeah, it's not right.
Can I pinpoint what's not right?
Well, first of all, the Orrery itself is not working. It's not running.
I go to wherever like the office or the main area would be.
You see a young human female whom you recognize. I don't have her name. She is flipping through papers. She is trying to pull up books. She's pulling out. She herself has a little sending stone. She's not pulling it out. She's just putting it away. And she looks up, and she's
Did you break my orrery?
No, I did not. Perhaps you should talk to. Perhaps you should talk to Garrett.
Are you going to fix this?
I can't fix it.
Why?
I'm just office. I don't know how to work the mechanics.
Who's
I will walk
fixing this?
over and look at it.
As I'm talking,
pull-
I'm like looking at
pull
it,
out
like
my
trying to
little
figure out
tools
what's
and
wrong.
belt.
All right. You see that the outer shell of it is perfectly fine. Evangeline, you notice right away that this is very similar to the orreries at Saji and at the Foundation Stones. Slightly different. They're not. It's not as old by any means.
Newer.
Yeah. But it does have a lot of similarities to it. And you go straight to where the panel is supposed to be, and Fix kind of comes up next to you and starts to work in there. It looks like it has been like punched repeatedly on the inside. Like the outside looks fine, but on the inside it looks like it's been punched repeatedly. There are actual gears that need to be replaced. It's not immediately fixable.
I look at Fix. Your forge.
I'll turn around and look at I don't know, what's her name?
Shelly.
Shelly. and say, "Where is he?"
Garrett is over at the infirmary.
What
Is he
happened?
sick?
You really should talk to Garrett.
He's in the infirmary. He's sick. I want to know what happened from somebody who is not sick.
She takes about 5 steps back and she says, "We had an incident with your sister."
What did she want?
I will perk up.
She didn't make a demand.
What did she do?
She came in, destroyed she got into the inside of the Ori and did quite a bit of damage to it. And Garrett was trying to calm her down and got hit in the process. Pretty hard.
Will he live?
Yes, but it's gonna take a while.
For him to live?
No, for him to recover.
That's. I will set down my bag and I will start pulling out the pieces to the forge.
Okay.
And I will pull out a little baggie and smile because I've already been working on cogs and wheels and things like that.
It's true.
I will begin to start removing damaged cogs and
All right.
wheels and the such. And as I get them off, I will hand them to Fix.
All right. Roll me perception. Evangeline.
Me?
Yeah, you're the one in there pulling off cogs.
Perception. +4. I got a 22.
All right. As you're in there and you're pulling off cogs, you see some weird markings. Kind of on the it's not on the cogs themselves, it's kind of on the edge. As you're kind of pulling out a cog, they catch your eye. It's on the inside of the outer casing. So it's, it's inside the machine. But there are some weird like etchings in there. It almost looks like code, a language. But it doesn't really look like a language. It looks like a code, like what would be like Morse code or something of that nature. It looks like a code, but it's actually saying something. But you're not really sure what it is.
Real quick, since you guys will probably be a while doing that. What was the guy's name?
Garrett.
Garrett. I'm gonna look at the girl and ask her just real firmly, is Garrett awake?
Hit or miss. He's in and out.
Take me to him.
Of course.
Forsyth,
This way.
can you come with me?
I will.
All right. So you guys head off to the infirmary.
I will have Fix. I will call for Fix to look at what I found.
I'll take a look at it. Do I recognize it?
You recognize it. You recognize it as it was a fun thing that you and Gidna used to do when you were younger. She would leave you little coded messages all the time, various places, and for you to find and decipher and return if you wanted to or whatever. You guys had a little coded language, and you do recognize it. And it says on there, "I am not myself. Please forgive me."
Evangeline would see where all the like, I don't know, sort of like all the steam just left Fix.
I will put my hand on Fix's shoulder and say, "What is it?"
She's asking for forgiveness and saying that she is not herself.
Does this kind of confirm what you felt when you spoke to her?
It confirms that I'm going to kill she who shall not be named in the most painful and excruciating way possible.
Then forgive Gidna. Let's fix your orrery, and we'll
Let's.
see about getting her.
Before he does that, though, he takes his tools and while it's more symbolic than anything, he will respond in the code underneath the markings. You are forgiven.
All
And
right.
then he'll go to work fixing the orrery.
All right. You go to work
And
fixing the
I'll
orrery.
continue working on getting out broken gears and the such.
All right. The two of you head off to Garrett, and I believe it is 9:39. That is where we are going to end for tonight.
Right.
As much as I want to keep going for another hour to get you to where I really want you to be, we're not going to go that far.
Hey, I'll go for another hour, but other people might have issue with
Hey,
that.
I got
Yeah,
nothing.
I'll start crashing before too long here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say I got nothing, and the two complicated ones aren't coming tomorrow.
All
I do
right.
have work in the morning, so I should
Yep.
probably do that.
Do have work in the morning. So, and we're on overtime this week. So, we are going to end it there for tonight. While Kadeth and Forsyth walk into the infirmary to speak with Garrett to see what he has to say as to what happened. So, for all of you that are watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us this evening. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we're live next week. And make sure you like and subscribe, or like and share our videos. That way we can get the word out so more people can enjoy the content. And check us out on danddadjokes.com, where you can find our other social media links. So until next week, bye.
Bye bye.